Hello everyone, this is Dr. P. Mary Anupama, Head of the Department of Biochemistry, St. Joseph's College for Women, presenting the topic Structure of Kidneys. The following topics will be dealt in detail: the external structure of kidney as well as internal structure of kidney, where we'll be studying about renal cortex, renal medulla as well as renal pelvis. Kidneys, these are the chief organs of the urinary system which are involved in the filtration of blood as well as removal of all the metabolic waste which are generated in the body. They also regulate water levels and they are important for electrolyte balance. These are highly organized for efficient filtration of the blood and urine formation. Thereby, they help to maintain homeostasis and act as the main excretory organs of vertebrates. External structure of kidney. We see that kidneys, these are bean shaped with a very smooth outer surface. These have a convex lateral border and a concave medial border. This shape, it allows them to attach to the vessels and ducts. They are located in the abdominal cavity besides our vertebral column. So here we'll be having our vertebral column, they'll be besides the vertebral column. And coming to their location, they are located at the T12 and L1, L2 of the vertebra. T means thoracic vertebra. So at the T12 thoracic vertebra and the lumbar vertebra 1 and 2, they are positioned at that region, while we see that the left one is slightly higher than the right one. So that is because of the presence of liver over there. Then they lie outside the coelomic cavity and these are very well protected within the body. The kidneys, they are covered by a fibrous renal capsule, and this capsule, it is essential to protect it from injury as well as infections. And the capsule also helps to maintain the shape of the kidney. There is a hilum, which is a depression on the medial side. Renal artery will be entering through this hilum, while renal vein as well as the ureter, they exit through the hilum. This hilum, it opens into the internal cavity through renal sinuses. These cavities, we call them as the renal sinuses. The internal structure of the kidney, it is highly organized and it can be clearly seen in the longitudinal section that we have seen previously. So it consists of three regions: the renal cortex, renal medulla as well as renal pelvis. So these regions, these are structurally and functionally very distinct, but they also work together and ensure that efficient urine formation is taking place in our body. Renal cortex. So renal cortex, it is the outermost kidney region and it is located beneath the renal capsule. So it appears, when you observe under microscope, it appears little granular and it consists of the basic filtration structures. It is the main site for blood filtration. It contains the glomeruli as well as convoluted tubules of the nephron. It forms renal columns, which we call them as, here we have renal columns, which we call them as the columns of Bertini, which extend into the medulla. The columns, they provide support and contains vessels and they separate the pyramids. Renal medulla. So renal medulla, it is the inner region which is present beneath the cortex and it is organized into conical medullary pyramids. These pyramids, they basically consist of the tubules of the nephrons, the collecting ducts as well as the blood vessels. The pyramids, they end in papillae which project into calyces. Here we have the papilla and they project into the calyces. So papilla is labeled here. So this urine, it passes from the pyramids, that is from the collecting ducts, the tubules to the ducts, and then to the papilla, and then to the calyces, and then to the renal pelvis. So medulla plays a very important role in urine concentration and reabsorption. Renal pelvis. So renal pelvis, it looks like a funnel shaped cavity. Okay, it's a central funnel shaped cavity. It is formed by the union of all these calyces. So it collects the urine from different regions of our kidney, and then it directs the urine to the ureter. This ensures efficient drainage of the urine which is formed, and it also prevents the backflow. Structural organization within the kidney. We see that the kidney, it shows a very clear structural organization that supports various functions that result in the urine formation or the filtration of the blood. The cortex, it is mainly involved in filtration, while the medulla, it is involved in concentration of the urine, while the pelvis, it collects and channels the urine. So here it is a clear-cut division of labor that allows the kidneys to efficiently process large volumes of the blood and produce urine. Blood supply to the kidneys. So the kidneys, they are supplied very richly with capillaries. So this rich supply, it ensures that all the functions are done efficiently. Mainly the essential function, that is filtration, is done efficiently. The blood enters the kidney through renal artery, which branches into smaller vessels, which are seen in the cortex as well as medulla. After filtration and processing, again the blood is collected by the veins, which leave the kidney through renal vein. So this extensive vascular network, it ensures that there is continuous filtration of blood which is taking place. Nephron. Nephron is the functional unit of the kidney, and each kidney contains around 1.2 million nephrons. It consists of a renal corpuscle and the tubular part. This tubular part, it comprises of the proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and the collecting duct. So the nephrons, they are distributed in the cortex and also medulla for urine formation. Functional significance of kidney. So the kidney structure, it is very much closely related to its function. The cortex and medulla, they do separate functions. And then you see that cortex does only the filtration, while medulla does the concentration process. The medullary pyramids which are there, they help in efficient urine movement. Renal pelvis is the one which is collecting and directing the urine to the ureter, while we have the hilum, which allows organized entry and exit of the vessels. So this structure, it supports efficient filtration, reabsorption, and excretion. So let us summarize the topics. Kidney, it's a highly specialized organ for vital functions. It is having some external and internal features. External features, they ensure protection as well as proper functioning of the kidney. Internally, it consists of cortex, medulla, and pelvis that enable efficient urine formation. And the basic functional unit, nephrons, they carry out filtration and reabsorption. The overall structure, it supports this functional process. They maintain homeostasis and remove metabolic waste from the body. Recommended books for further study include Guyton and Hall Textbook of Medical Physiology, Essentials of Medical Physiology by K. Sembulingam and Prema Sembulingam, or Human Anatomy and Physiology by Elaine and Mereb et al. Or you can study Review of Medical Physiology by Barrett, Susan. Or this is the Indian other one, Textbook of Medical Biochemistry and Physiology by M.N. Chatterjee and Rana Shinde. Thank you.